All right, we're live. Okay, this is welcome back to the Overrated Podcast episode. Well, actually, this is not really an episode number. This is the overtime edition of the Overrated Podcast. I am your co-host Hoovy 186. This is my tag team partner Traditionalist 101. Introduce yourself quickly.
Yep. The traditionalist 101, like he said, this is just, a quick overtime to discuss what's been going on with the NBA playoffs.
Yeah. Been some crazy games, and we figured this is really the best time to do it. I know it's 1:39 in the morning, but I've been off all day, and I know you just got back from doing a twin shift at your job. So
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
doing
but
doing doing a double. Yep.
yeah, but like you said, it gave us an opportunity to talk about the the games that we had that came that was going on since Monday's show. So So you see, I have the bracket on the screen right now. Let me just tweet this out real quick, and then we can get started. Hopefully, it won't be too long. You know what I mean? We don't. I don't expect it to be super duper long. So get this video out. And this mainly for people to share it. Over time and whatnot.
Yeah.
So let me just put this out there. You know, while I do this, stall.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I've been very, very impressed with what's been going on, in the playoffs. And unfortunately, I mean, we're gonna talk about it, but unfortunately, there were some injuries that also happened,
Yeah.
and which is really sad, and it also pisses me off because we already seen how it affect or compromise other teams because we already know what the situation with Kawhi, who hasn't played all season. We know the situation with Zion, and we know stupid situations, like with Ben Simmons. So like we missed a lot of superstars, this year, quite a few. Oh yeah, and also forgot to mention, Murray.
hmm
So
And,
there's a
and
lot.
and Porter Jr. too.
Yeah, so there's many several stars, all star superstars that we were not able to watch, this season,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, it seems like that's going to continue to happen during the playoffs, and yeah, that pisses me off. But oh yeah, and with Middleton too.
Yeah, that happened too. But we might as well talk about the 1-8 matchup in the Western Conference. Phoenix and New Orleans. Pretty much New Orleans. They dug deep and they got one in Phoenix. Like you mentioned, Devin Booker did get hurt. I think he's already been ruled out of games 3 and 4 in New Orleans.
Yep.
And while I still like, I know you were on me about Zion and stuff like that.
Yes.
Frankly, my stance still remains. I still think that Phoenix is the better team. It's not going to be easy. Right now, it's definitely not going to be easy. But I still think Phoenix has enough to beat New Orleans. But and I still don't think that bringing back Zion is I don't think it's the right thing. I don't think it's the right thing to do. Now, I'll put in a scenario for you right now. If New Orleans, by any grace of God, gets past Phoenix, then I would definitely consider bringing him back on a minutes restriction.
Well, what difference does it make?
I mean, you're in the second round. Once you get past the first round, then you're a contender. In my opinion, you're a contender for something, for a championship. Right now,
Mhm.
they're an 8 seed, and I still think that Phoenix is gonna beat them. But if they get past Phoenix, I would definitely consider bringing back Zion on a minutes restriction. So I mean, give me what's your thoughts?
No, I say play him now. This is again, this is very unfortunate what happened, with Devin Booker. But the fact that he is hurt now, this is your absolute big chance to eliminate that team as quickly as possible. And I think you will be able to do it sooner if you insert Zion in the lineup. He doesn't have to play 30 minutes. He doesn't have to play 40 minutes. Like 20, 25 points. I mean, 20, 25 minutes. I think that'll be fine. I think that will be effective enough since now that they don't have, Devin Booker for this whole entire, first round. They should absolutely play Zion now and, take advantage of it. Because to me, Zion is healthy. When you're doing 360 dunks, when you're doing, you know, between the leg dunks and all that, that means that you're healthy to me. So although they haven't played together, Phoenix Suns hasn't doesn't have any tape of them playing together either. So I think it'll be very difficult without Devin Booker, and it'll be also very difficult because they don't have any tape to view, how to, defend with Zion in the lineup. So take advantage of it. That's my opinion.
All right. Well, moving on to the next game.
And
This,
before you do move on, it does says here that where is it? Yeah, he suffered a loss, and okay, so he would miss three okay, it says on Wednesday it's reported that Booker would miss game 3 and game 4 against the Pelicans, right?
mhm.
And no timetable, for his return. Having a timetable is certainly better than not having one, but 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so he's out for the entire round. He's completely out. He won't be coming back for the remaining, of the first round.
I mean, I
So
don't think I don't think that's official, but with hamstrings, I that's hamstring injuries are really tricky. You see that with Harden right now. Um, so I mean, I don't know.
well,
He's officially out 3 and 4. That's official.
okay, well, let me read this. I don't want to put the viewers out of the loop, but it says here, right? It's just gonna be real quick. Um, it says here that where is it? Where is it? Okay, so the hamstring issue has been a recurring theme for over the past year or so for Booker's career. He had two last year, one during the regular season, one during the playoffs, which cost him, four, total games. The strain Booker suffered on Tuesday is actually his second of the current season. He had one in November that cost him, 7 games. So if you go, just by going history, alone, in retrospect, that all the hamstring injuries that he had, it wasn't like one of those little, oh, it was just a little stretch and and things like that. No, he's been out for quite several games. So in my opinion, I don't this even if they're able to pass the even if he was able, let's say the Phoenix Suns were able to defeat the Pelicans, like he's I don't think he's still coming back. Like most likely he will probably come back if they make it to the Western Conference, but I don't even think he'll be able to play even in the second round. Not with all the history that we having, from what this basically saying, based on history, he's gonna be going out for quite a long time. So and let me also say this, like again, it really pisses me off because we already been dealing with all these superstars through injuries already, and now that we have more, it's like it's very unfortunate. I feel bad for him, but before we move on, I just have a question though.
Mhm.
You say they still going to win. Is that going to be in Game 7?
No, no, it's probably gonna. I think they have enough to beat them, and it's probably gonna take 6 games. I think.
Oh, so they'll win even in 6 games.
I think so.
Hmm. Okay, okay. All right. Well, if you think so, then I think it's gonna go to 7 games. If Booker doesn't come back, it's gonna go to 7 games. But yeah, that's all. That's all I need to. That's all I need to read. So, all obviously all the prayers goes to this guy. You know, he's a real superstar. He hasn't gotten the recognition that he deserved, in my opinion.
I agree.
Because once again, all they did was just talk about LA and the Nets, and which is very unfortunate because it basically obscured this guy and all the others who was well deserved to get the recognition. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, okay. So that's enough about that. Get healthy, my friend, and let's move on to next game.
Right. This game was the game three was was tonight for this game. Dallas versus Utah. Utah came back and won game two. But they I wouldn't say they got whooped, but they got thoroughly outplayed in game three. Like I think I don't know if I said this in the I forgot who I picked, but I this Jazz team that there's something rotten about that Jazz team. There's
You
something
said
rotten about
rotten.
yeah.
Well,
Because
well,
I
why is it?
because I think I mentioned this last week. At least not last week Monday. But there is definitely tension between Mitchell and Gobert. They don't like each other. And I don't think that you can be a team like Utah that can survive two guys not liking each other. Your top two players not liking each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas without Luca again didn't play. But again, I think Jalen Brunson, that's his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he after scoring 40, I think he scored 41 and did he score 41 in game two or game one? I don't remember.
Um, Dude, I don't remember either.
Yeah, I don't remember. I saw the stat, but damn, I forgot. But he scored 31 in game three, and Dallas is. I mean, I think Dallas is gonna win the series. I expect Utah to win tomorrow. You know what I mean? But I think Dallas is winning this series. What's your thoughts?
Um, yeah, I think Dallas is probably going to win the series too, even without Luca, and if and I'm going to take it a step further. If Dallas actually wins
Hmm.
and they beat Utah going to have to do a rebuild.
They just paid Rudy Gobert. I don't envision them trading Donovan Mitchell, but like I I don't know if the coach is gonna stay because I know he's been rumored to the Lakers job, and they need either they need to find a coach that can talk to both of them and see if they can settle their differences. But I
Well, you have and the reason why I say rebuild is because you can't keep them both. Like we all saw the situation eventually with Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe. They couldn't win together anymore.
Mhm.
They couldn't win anymore, and then they had to make a split. And in this particular case, you have to either trade one and or get rid of both and just start over. You have no choice because clearly, ever since the whole COVID fiasco that happened with Gobert, and they haven't got along. After that, they
No,
did.
no, they've had issues before that.
Well, then, well, okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, they've had, but but you're right. You're right though. Like but they've had issues before that, and it hasn't been fixed. And either they get a coach that can fix it, or they some. I mean, something has to change because they can't bring back the same team.
Right,
They can't.
and
They can't bring back the same team.
which is why I say now if a rebuild is a bit hyperbolic, I get it because you mentioned that they gave Gobert a new contract,
Hmm.
and he did okay. I mean, he had like 15 points, I think like 8 7 rebounds, something like that.
That's not.
But
That's not enough for your second best player. That's not enough. And I don't know if I can put all that blame on him. So like I said, this is the only I only caught the game late, so I don't know what. I mean, look, he's not a great offensive player anyway,
Yeah,
but I feel like with his rebounding ability, he should be he'll score more points if he just got more of an opportunity. Because there's a stat that I heard that Donovan Mitchell, I think I think averages 2 passes to Gobert a game, not assists, passes. That is so that's way below.
yeah,
That's way below anything. So that to me that shows that they don't communicate well together. And Mitchell, and as great as Mitchell is, he's not a good defender. And like when you have that, and then you have a guy in Rudy Gobert who's arguably the best defender in the league. That's not a good mesh either. So yeah, like I like if they can't figure this out, I do think that they'll break it up eventually. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll do it next year without giving. Because I don't think I don't think Snyder is staying there past this point. If they lose in the first round, I think he's gone.
yeah,
Whether either he gets fired or he leaves, he's gone if they lose this series. So yeah. So
yeah.
we'll see.
Because I understand, there are other teams in the Western Conference who are just as good, or better.
Hmm.
But when you constantly, keeping, the same team over and over and over again, and there's hasn't been really any, improvements, yeah, you're just gonna have to start over.
And
I
they
mean,
in the regular season they've regressed the last 3 years.
yeah,
So
yeah, and I know Conley. I think he played well. I think
mhm,
Clarkson, played well too, and it still wasn't enough.
yeah,
So I think the reason why it hasn't been enough is because Gobert and Mitchell just can't get along, and it's affecting the chemistry of the team and the defense chemistry for the team.
yeah.
So I don't think it will be wise to keep this group together. You either get rid of one of them or you get rid of both.
Start over, and
Yeah,
it's tough to start over in Utah because they're not a free agent destination. So
yeah,
all right, next matchup is Golden State versus Denver. This is the game that the game three was
yeah,
also tonight, and pretty much Golden State pretty much put their stranglehold on the series. Winning 3-0. Steph Curry was excellent. Klay Thompson was excellent. Jordan Poole was excellent.
yes.
Like this team right now, they're the most impressive team I've seen so far in the playoffs. They look
Oh,
like
okay.
they look like the Golden State of old, and that is going to be big problem for whoever they play next.
And
You
I
know what I
wanna
mean?
and I wanna give a huge shout out to Jim on Green.
Oh yeah, yeah. That dude. He like I don't want to say that he's the best player on the team because he's not. But when it defensively, he's their most important player easily.
Yes.
I mean the work that he's doing on Joe, and look, Joker, like he got his numbers. Like don't get it twisted. That dude's not an MVP for nothing. But you can see him. He's bothering Joker. You know what I mean? And he's anchoring that defense.
Yeah.
And like you said, like when it comes to great defenses, you're not gonna stop. Like sometimes you're not gonna stop great players, but if you bother them, then you're doing your job. You're doing your job. But I think the series is over. Denver clearly doesn't have enough. They don't have enough. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. They don't have enough, and you could clearly see that overall. Denver's defense. It seems like they really couldn't stop anybody, because um and the reason why I say they haven't really stopped anybody because obviously Steph Curry he did his thing, like you said. Poole did his thing. Oh, they're showing the highlights with Memphis and Minnesota. And everyone else pretty much did their thing. Like Draymond Green, I think he only had like 6 points,
Yeah,
but
but
he had like 10 assists.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. That's his thing. That his thing is to help the offense facilitate on offense, play great defense. On defense. So
yeah,
he's definitely doing his job. Like and you can see when he got right. when it comes to injuries, that's when you see how good this Golden State team is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh my
yeah,
bad. This is not a highlight.
this is
This showing a
review.
rerun. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, rerun. Now, I want to also add, one last thing.
Hmm.
Based on what you also just said, they are probably, the best team. I probably I want to say Miami, but yeah, Golden State has been, extremely impressive, especially offensively.
Hmm.
But I think it's right now is a tie between them and Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a tie between. I can't, definitively choose one, but what I can say is that Steph Curry is on the verge to being the best player in the league right now.
Okay. All right. All right. Last matchup. This is also a game that happened just now. This was the best game of the three. Is Minnesota and Memphis, and I gotta tell you, I picked Memphis to win the series, and Game Three is the reason why. One team, they're both young teams. They're both young teams, and I still think this series is gonna go. I don't know if I said 6 or 7, but it's definitely gonna go that go. It's gonna go that far. I think. But the difference between both teams is both teams are young teams. Both teams are led by stars. You can argue that Minnesota may have a little bit more star power than Memphis. The difference is one team is mature, the other one's not. I mean, I don't know Cat's stats today, but he didn't play well, and he's constantly getting into foul trouble in these playoff games when he shouldn't be.
Yeah, Anthony Towns, that dude only had like 8 points.
Yeah, 8 points. That's not and at home not enough, not enough, man. Like it's just what it is when you and I get it. He hasn't played in too many playoff situations, but you like people and I know Barkley was harping over this. You're the number one pick. You know what I mean? You're clearly a great player. Like we've seen you be great, but what separates good good players to great players is what you do in the playoffs. And like I said, he had a great game one. I don't know what he did in game two. I forgot the stat. I don't think he was terrible in game two, but game three at home, you can't have that type of performance at home in game three. You can't.
Hmm.
You can't. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
yeah, 8 points, is unacceptable.
yeah.
Just unacceptable. And I think you only had like what, like 4 or 5 rebounds,
Hmm.
one assist, like just awful,
Yeah.
completely awful.
Yeah.
So I believe that you are right. I think Memphis is going to win, and I know you say you don't believe in this, but yeah, I think the momentum has shifted. They stolen home court back. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see how Minnesota could recover from this because Anthony Town is the X factor. He's the primary star in that team,
Well,
and
in my opinion, I think Cole Anthony is the better player. He will be the future of that team. In the future, the problem is that he's still a rookie. Wait, is he a rookie or his second year? No, no, his
you
second year. Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony. Okay,
That's the name, right? I feel like I got it
Wait,
wrong on the play on in the last episode. That Cole Anthony, that's the name, right?
Cole. It's hold on.
No,
I'm trying.
no. Anthony Edwards, ain't it?
Um, I think you're talking about. Okay, no, D'Angelo Russell, Vanderbilt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Edwards.
Yeah, it is. It is Edwards. I think I'm getting him mistaken for the Orlando Magic's player. Yeah, Anthony Edwards. That's my bad. My bad. Anthony Edwards. He's the future of that franchise in the future. And but the thing is that he's still a young player. I think he's a second year player.
Yeah,
So
he's a small forward, I believe.
I thought he was a
Was
guard.
was he a shooting guard?
Yeah, I think he's a guard.
No.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
6'4" shooting. Yeah, shooting guard. Small
Oh, he's
forward
a shooting
shooting
guard.
guard. So yeah,
Okay.
small forward shooting guard. So So yeah, what's your so you pretty much you agree with me that the series you think the series is over. I think that I don't think the series is over, but I do think that Memphis will win because I think they're just a better team, better coach, better I just think they're better.
Yeah.
All right, so going to the Eastern Conference, I have something to say about this, right? So Miami's up 2-0. I'm not surprised because, like I said, I don't think Atlanta's not good, and they I know they've had injuries, so and obviously Jimmy Butler just big time, dude. Like, and let me ask you a question: Who do you think is the better player, Trey Young or Jimmy Butler? Just before the series started, just be honest.
Um, I would say at first I did think it was Trey Young,
Hmm.
but you have to also keep in mind that Jimmy Butler does play outstanding defense. So I believe it would be wise for you to choose Butler because of his defense.
I always thought that like even when the series started that Jimmy Butler was the best player in the series, and I know most people won't agree with me because one they're gonna say I'm a homer, which I am. I ain't gonna lie, but but two, Trey Young gets all the attention, he gets the exposure and all the other stuff, and deserved, especially for that run that he had last year. It's deserved, but at the end of the day, you see that when it comes to playoff time that Jimmy Butler delivers every single time. When he was in Chicago, he delivered. In Minnesota, he played great. In Philadelphia, he played great.
Yes.
And in Miami, during the finals, he played great. Right? Trey Young may be the bigger star, but Jimmy Butler's the best player in that series. And
Mhm.
like you said that they've been as impressive as Golden State. I want to see Miami put that type of performance on the road. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I want to see them do what Golden State did because obviously Atlanta's gonna come at them.
Yeah.
They're gonna come at them. They're at home, even though they don't have much of a home court advantage. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that they better be lucky they're not gonna be a lot of Heat fans in that building because during the regular season you hear "Let's Go Heat" chants in Atlanta's arena.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you hear it. So
Oh man.
so yeah I want to see them do what they did at home, do it on the road. Because that's my biggest difference. That's why I said Golden State was impressive because they were able to beat Denver at home especially when Denver gave them their best shot. So and also I have to say this: Trey Young with the complaining about the referees. I mean, miss me with that bullshit. Like the foul call disparity was only two. I think in Miami favor 26-24. Bam and PJ Tucker were in foul trouble the whole game. So it's
Hmm.
like, give me a fucking break with the referee complaining. Like you're just mad that you couldn't flop your ass into the foul line.
Well,
Outta here.
I mean, well, keep in mind he all season. Remember, he wasn't the only one that was complaining about refs.
Oh no, I understand. It was the
So
floppers. It was the floppers.
remember, James Harden complained.
Yeah, flopper.
Um, would you consider Steph Curry a flopper?
I mean, he's definitely flopped before, but I don't consider him a flopper.
No, okay, okay. But yeah, you had multiple guys complain about so so the fact that he's complaining now in the playoffs, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me now. This whole situation of knowing that Jimmy Butler is the best player in the series. I mean, yeah, you could absolutely. I could agree with that. The only thing is though, I think people would still say it's Trey Young because of his offensive power.
That's fine. That's fine. But when he gets beat up, he's just gonna bitch and complain about foul calls. Jimmy Butler goes in there and he does his thing. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
So you think they will not be as equal? They're not equal right now with the Golden State Warriors because you want to see what they do on the road first.
Yes, yes. I want to see them. I want to see them do this, have a similar performance on the road. I don't expect them to beat Atlanta by like 20 or whatever, but I expect them. I expect them to. I want them to sweep Atlanta. Maybe Atlanta may get one in their home court, but ultimately, I Miami should win this series and win this series pretty easily, especially when they have a second round. Even we know they're gonna play Philadelphia in the second round. So get the series to 3-0, match what Philly's doing, so you can get the same amount of rest.
Yeah, I think this is you see, like, this is one of the reasons where, my goodness, like, getting a sweep would definitely be crucial, because I think Philadelphia is sweeping Toronto. I think they're sweeping Toronto, and I think with that, I know we're not supposed to talk about them yet, but with that game winner that Joel Embiid had shot,
Yeah, we
I
can, we
think,
can we can we can pivot to them. That's fine. We can
yeah,
pivot.
okay, so it basically, in my opinion, it demoralized Toronto.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it would absolutely be Miami's best interest to do the exact same thing what the Warriors doing, even though they're in the West,
Hmm.
but especially do what the Phoenix 76ers are doing,
Yes,
because you don't want them to get the advantage and just rest and waiting for you guys, having fresh legs and things like that. You want everything to be in the equal playing field.
absolutely. I agree with that. So pivoting to Toronto and Philadelphia. Toronto tried their best. I mean, like I said, they were 0-2 in Philadelphia, and they tried their best. But the only thing I saw was the last shot. I didn't see what came before that. Apparently, Precious Achua, who was a former Heat player, he missed two free throws, and that kind of opened up the door for the last play of the game, which was a Joel Embiid turnaround 3-point shot with literally like 1 second left. It
Yeah.
was such a crazy, crazy shot, man. And I put on Twitter that he exercised some demons with that shot. Do you know what I mean by that?
Um, the criticism that
No,
which one?
no. What I meant by that is because remember the Kawhi Leonard shot a couple years ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So he exercised some demons with that shot in the same building too.
yeah. And
Do that to them.
he also he played phenomenal.
Yeah, he
Like,
did.
we talking, he had a double double too.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He had like 30 something points, like 11, 12 rebounds. So he had a sensational game,
yeah. And
and
to
he had a
me,
game winner. Yeah.
yeah,
So yes.
yeah. To me, he's the MVP of the league this year, in my opinion. And you have performances like that is the reason why. But let me ask you this question, right? Because there's really nothing much to talk about. I think Toronto. I think Toronto gonna put up a good fight. It wouldn't surprise me if Toronto wins. I think they play tomorrow. I think or something. I don't know. I don't remember. But it wouldn't surprise me if Toronto wins, but it wouldn't surprise me if Philadelphia sweeps. But the question I have for you is: are you worried about James Harden?
Hmm. Um. When you say worry, you mean like health wise?
Yeah, if health wise performance, because to me his performance is health related. I still don't think he's recovered from the hamstring.
Yeah.
He
Well,
doesn't have the same explosiveness. He not, I don't think he's playing. I don't think he's playing badly. I don't think he's playing bad because obviously Tyrese Maxey has been excellent in this series, but I don't think he can play that same way against Miami. At least I don't think so.
yeah, yeah. Harris has playing was playing decent too.
Yeah,
He also had a double double. I don't know if you knew that, but he also had a double double as well.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, and matter of fact, James Harden had a double double too.
yeah. But you can tell he's not the same guy. He's not the same guy he was. Especially during his MVP year. I think he's hampered with the injury, and I don't think he can play this way and be effective against Miami the way he can do it against Toronto.
I agree.
So
I agree, because I mean, yes, he's a good facilitator, and he's a good passer, but he has to be healthy if he's going to face a defensive juggernaut like Miami.
yeah, and
If
even
he,
if they even get past Miami, think hopefully not. I mean, you still have to deal with whoever comes out on the other end of the bracket. So
Yeah. So I am worried about James Harden. I think he needs to what they need to do is just finish the series as quickly as possible, and hopefully, and they would probably have to hope that that Atlanta would at least take it to 5 games.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like at least take it to 5 games. Now they have to travel back to Miami, and so that would be a couple extra days rest for James Harden. So
yeah,
so really when you look at it, it is best interest for Miami to win as quickly as possible. But for James Harden's sake, yeah, they need to get rid of this team ASAP.
yeah. I agree. I
ASAP.
agree. I think you watched this game, right? But Milwaukee and Chicago game two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't I missed it. I think I was at work when it went down. But Chicago won game two. Big props to DeMar DeRozan. Like pretty much, I think he scored 41 points. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he was phenomenal, and like you said, you mentioned earlier on, Milton did get hurt. I think he sprained MCL. I don't is he been ruled out of game three or
I was trying to see. You know what? Let me look it up because I want to make sure I give the right information. Let
yeah,
me see.
because I still think that even with Milton hurt, I still think that they can win this series.
Hmm.
Obviously Milton is an important part of the team, but as long as you have Giannis, as long as he's healthy, I think you'll be fine. Um,
Okay,
for
I found it.
okay,
Let me share this real quick. Just I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm gonna basically do the same thing what I did with the Devin Booker article.
yeah,
Just read just bits and pieces and get along with the show. Where is it? Okay, so as you can see,
oh, he's
okay.
out 2 weeks.
Oh, geez, it's 2 weeks. So Milwaukee Bucks Chris Middleton is expected to miss at least 2 weeks injury after injuring his left knee Wednesday night in Game Two in the first round playoff against Chicago Bulls. We knew that. The Bucks announced Thursday night that the three-time All-Stars undergo an MRI earlier that day, and that they would offer their next status update on him approximately 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The news, yeah.
So he's not guaranteed to come back. They just reevaluate his knee in 2 weeks to see if it's healed enough for him to play.
Hmm.
So
Oh, okay, so it says here that likely knocks him out at least the rest of the Buck series, which is tied 2-2. If the series goes a full 7 games, it would end May 1st. Okay. I guess there's nothing else here. I think everything else we pretty much know.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, okay. So you think even without Middleton, remember he is their second best scorer.
Hmm.
So you think without him they could still beat Chicago?
Yeah, I do think so. I do think so. You're usually gonna need more from Drew Holiday, and then you're gonna need something extra from their core guys. I mean that's pretty much what it is. As long as you have Giannis, you should be fine. You should be fine. Because I
Mhm.
still think that even though Demar was excellent, I don't think this Bulls team is as good as people make him out to be. So I think they should win this series. They'll probably go 5, maybe 6 games, but they should win the series.
Um, yeah, but the only thing is though, like, who else is going to take over?
It's not about take. You don't need to take over. Like you can let Giannis take over, but you need one of those supporting guys to help. Like pretty much to put more of a load. Um, the shoulder the load that Milton can bring you. That's been what they have to do, and if they can't do it, then I still think they'll get past Chicago, but they ain't going no further than that.
Well, the problem is the reason why I asked that is because there's really hasn't been anybody else in the lineup. Like Holiday, he's doing fine. Matthews, he's doing fine. But other than that, I don't think anybody else has played.
Mm. I
I mean,
mean, yeah,
I
I don't have the roster in front of me, but yeah, you're gonna have to ride Giannis, and hopefully Giannis can do for Milwaukee what Middleton and those guys did for Giannis when he got hurt last year,
Hmm.
pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm worried, about this. Like, I'm really am.
Hmm.
I think with his injury, is probably going to go to six. Well, you know what? I'm going to make a prediction. I think it's going to go to 7 games.
Okay.
I just don't know who's going to win, but I think it's going to go to 7 games. Without Middleton, is going to 7 games.
All right.
And you
I
think you think it's going to go Milwaukee in 6 or 5?
5 or 6. Because
Oh, five,
I still think they're the better team. I
like
don't I
far
don't
better.
yeah. I think Milwaukee's the better team. All right. The last series
Okay.
to talk about, and this one might take a minute. Brooklyn and Boston. Boston took a 2-0 series lead yesterday, and I was inundated with messages about, oh, I told you so, this and that about Kevin Durant.
Yes.
And to me, I think here's what I have to say. Right, one,
Yes. I can't wait.
applaud Boston on the phenomenal defense that they're playing on Durant. They have two guys watching him all, like, every single time on when he's out on the court,
Hmm.
and they're making it uncomfortable for him to play. They're
Yes.
making it uncomfortable, and that's what you have to do with guys who are great shooters, who are great offensive players. You have to make them getting their points difficult.
Hmm.
It's no different than to what Detroit did to Jordan. It's no different than, and you see this all the time with teams. Like, teams will try to get physical with their best player. You know what I mean? And I get that. But with that said, your idea of him having to pump up in the gym, I think, is still foolish.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think it is, because one, I don't think it's gonna change. It's not gonna change how he plays. It's not going, and it's also not gonna change how they would have. They're going to do the same thing to him no matter what. They're gonna do the same thing to him no matter what. And if he has two bad games, okay, fine, he has two bad games. But that's why losing game one was such a mistake. Was such a stupid thing for them to do, for Brooklyn to do, because you wasted a great performance by Kyrie, who did not play well in the second game. He didn't show up. No, really, no one did for Brooklyn in that second game. So you have to give Boston credit, but at the same time, they haven't played at home yet. And listen, I don't think their home court advantage is worth dilly shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think their home court is worth anything. But with that said, they are going home, and we'll see where it goes. I don't think the series is over.
Well, Seth Curry had like 16 points, so he did his job. Brown, he did his job. Like, they had enough of a supporting cast, to win that game. And when
I mean,
you
yeah,
when you
their stars play like craps, and when your stars play like crap, then you're not gonna win.
no, 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 well, no, because Dragic had a very good game too.
Hey, that's
Like,
fine, but when your stars play like crap, you're not gonna win.
what I'm saying is that their other starters did enough, and even without Kyrie Irving support, they did enough to try to win this game. Like, they
I
did
get
their
what you're
job.
saying. I get what you're saying, but
Remember,
when
they had control most throughout the entire game in the
no,
first
they
half.
didn't. They had control in the first half. Boston came back near the end of the first half and then blew them off the floor in the third quarter. In the third quarter, where they blew them off the floor. When your stars play like garbage, you're not going to win. It's just that, and you don't have to. You don't need monster games from Kyrie and Kevin. They need to be good, and both men, at least in game two, both men were not good. Both men were not good. But I still think the series is long.
But hold
Is
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You criticized me last game because I said he only scored 23 points.
mm-hmm.
He scored 27 points. So
Well,
what
yeah,
do you mean? What do you mean he's not good?
most of that's from the foul line. But he wasn't good. Like, he didn't. I think he didn't make any field goals in the second half.
Yeah, I think he was like 0 for like
12.
14 or
Yeah,
12. Yeah.
something like that. And If he makes half those shots, they win that game. If he makes half his shots, he win that game. Hell, if he makes half the shots, he's probably gonna get 40 plus. The only thing he wasn't able to do, he got to the foul line, so he can't complain about fouls, and I don't think he did. He didn't do that, but like he just couldn't make any shots because they were just hounding him every time he had the ball. They had two Celtics on him.
Well, it wasn't. I think it was a combination. Yeah, and this is the tweet that you are referring to. So let's play this real quick, and then I can finally show you what I mean. Because clearly, I don't think you want to give me the credit that I deserve because you really don't like to give me credit. But this is basically what's been going on. Are we going to? Is it okay to leave the volume up or no?
No, you can blow him up. Just don't blow it up. Don't blow it up. Don't blow it up. Don't. Yeah, don't blow it up. Don't blow it up. Don't blow it up. Put it.
Look at the physicality. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. And this is what you, my friend, need to pay attention to. When they are, all over the guy, and I want to do this, just, frame by frame, they are all over this dude.
Yeah. And
And
why do you
in
think that is?
order,
Why do you
and in
think that is?
order, because he's a superstar. Because he's a superstar. Well, hold on, they're gonna show another a section here. Okay, here we go. Look at this. Roughing him up,
Yeah.
constantly, getting in his face. So what I've been trying to tell you, haven't know, and Kendrick Perkins, called this out when he was in OKC, when he was still playing. Of
I,
course, obviously he's retired now, but when he was playing, he said that he needed to go, to the gym room. This was years ago. Years ago, because
I
mind you,
mean,
remember, this was around the time when he got traded when he was in Boston. So I'm not really sure how long ago that was, but that was several years ago.
so he needs to go in the gym like Kendrick Perkins, right?
No, he needs to go to the gym because people
Like
knew.
Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, he needed to go to the gym because because people knew that if he did not try to gain any type of muscle whatsoever, that it was going to cost him.
Then
And
why
right
why
now, it's costing him.
wait? So you're telling me that Boston's the only team that's ever thought about doing this to him?
At this, I never seen anyone rough him up like this.
And why do you think that? And is that credit
Look at
to?
this.
Wait. Then, so who? Wait.
Look at all the constant bumping and pushing and tugging. Like look at this.
Understood, Steve.
I don't know here's what you're not understanding.
I get what you're saying. The
No,
problem is that
because you even said that he's a twig.
yeah.
And what can you do to twigs? You could toss them around. That's what you could do.
And
You have guys who are smaller than him could bump him around. That's
okay,
unacceptable.
but here's the thing that you're not understanding. Throughout his entire career. Now, mind you, this is a man who's been to countless playoffs, been to the NBA Finals multiple times. Now, all of a sudden, him being skinny is now a problem.
Yeah, it has always been a problem. People called him out on it before.
Okay,
He just didn't listen.
but he's been successful throughout his entire career. He has two bad games, and all of a sudden, he needs to change his body frame and change who he is.
There, people had told him he needed to gain muscle even before this.
Okay, he's not,
Nothing's changed. People told him that he needed to go to the weight room.
but he's been successful regardless of what he's done. He's been successful. Now, and you're telling me that the Boston's the first team to figure out that they need to be physical with him?
I
No,
don't. I never. Go ahead.
give them props for playing great defense on him. That's pretty much all you gotta say. Just give them props. I know you prefer to criticize Durant than to give Boston credit, but you have to give Boston credit for playing great defense on him.
I'm absolutely giving Boston credit.
I mean, that's not the
Boston,
first thing you told me. Wait,
Boston, Bo-
go
go
ahead, go
ahead.
ahead.
But
No, 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 no. Yeah, go. You go.
Boston, they done a very, very outstanding job, playing against, Kevin Durant. I love the fact that whenever he would try to make a jump shot, two guys would contest. I like that. I like the fact that all eyes on Kevin Durant, and this is the reason why I said that I don't think, because you said Dirk Nowitzki is not as versatile as Kevin Durant.
He's not.
Dirk Nowitzki would have
Not.
adjusted, and he would have gone to the hole more.
Yeah. Okay.
And you could also see the difference. This is the reason why people have always said LeBron James was the better player. He would have done something different. The only thing that Kevin
They're
Durant
not
could
the same
rely,
player.
the
They're
only
not
thing
the
that
same
Kevin,
player.
the only thing that no, but I'm just telling you why he was always viewed as the best player over Kevin Durant, because he could make adjustments, he could facilitate, he could rebound, he could do whatever it is that he needs to do to make sure that he helps his team win. With Kevin Durant, all he's doing is taking jump shots. That's it. That's it.
And he plays good defense also. He's a good defender. He's a much
He,
better defender than LeBron is these days. I'll tell you that much.
well, to me, I think I think you're giving him way too much credit. I think his defense is overrated.
But is it bad? Because LeBron James defense is bad.
LeBron James doesn't even play defense.
Okay.
Look at this.
Okay.
Like they are pushing this dude around like a twig. And you know what? And the reason why I'm asking you to give me credit is because I told you this was going to happen.
He's
I
he's
told you.
look. He had two bad games. Like that's what it is. Like I'm not gonna take a 2 game sample and make it out to be like something that he needs to adjust in his career.
Yes, he needs to adjust now. He needs
I
to
mean,
adjust now.
I think that's up to the coach to get him open for free shots. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
that's
no, no,
that.
no, 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 no. Don't blame Steve
Oh
Nash
yeah, absolutely.
now.
Absolutely, I'm gonna
Don't blame
criticize. Oh,
Steve. Don't
absolutely,
blame
I'm gonna
Steve Nash
criticize Steve
now.
Nash. No,
No,
absolutely,
no,
I'm gonna
don't
criticize
blame him
Steve Nash.
now. Don't blame him now.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna blame Steve Nash because he's getting out coached in this series. 100%, he's getting out coached in this series. He's getting out coached, and I remember one guy on YouTube. I saw a tweet, not a tweet, like a YouTube comment, and I think it has some validity. This is the difference between playing with a point guard like Kyrie, and I'm not trying to take shit. I'm not trying to take shots at Kyrie,
It looks like you are.
but this is the difference between playing with a guard like Kyrie and playing with a guard like Steph Curry. Steph Curry would have opened up space for Kevin Durant. Kyrie's never been the type of player to do that for his teammates. He's not that type of point guard. Steph Curry will open up space for Kevin Durant, and that's what he needs right now. What he needs is space. And when I mean if they're if and I mean I don't know what they can do to adjust, but they have to adjust. But the adjustment it has to do to is for them to open up space for him. So when he has space, he's you like you said. I mean, like I've said, he could be the best player in the game easily if he has space because he could shoot over everybody. But it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to jump. It's hard to jump high when you're constantly getting hit left and right, doing that, doing this, like what Boston's been doing.
To me, I
So
think
yeah, go ahead.
to me, because you keep saying that, oh, it's going to change his game. It's going to change his game. To me, if he would actually, gain, some weight, some muscle, he would be able to handle all this physicality, and I don't think he would have, compromised his jump shot so much.
No,
I don't think so, because if you don't want him to go to the hole like Giannis, because they're different players. If you don't want him to go to the hole like Dirk Nowitzki did in the past, or like how LeBron James used to do it, that's fine. That's completely fine. But at the very least, you could clearly see that if he would just gain at least a little bit, he wouldn't have to deal with so much physicality like
I mean
this.
they're gonna play him physical no matter what. Like that's what you do to great players. You play them physical.
Okay,
and
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 what?
and, and he still played. It's not like he was like hurt or anything like that. No, he still played. He was still out there. Just every time he took a shot, he was getting contested. Everything was getting contested.
When I gave you examples in the last podcast, when I told you how Michael Jordan, Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bryant, Giannis, all of those guys gain weight, gain muscle for the benefit of the team and for the benefit from himself. Why can't Kevin Durant do the same thing?
'Cause I don't think he had the same body type, and I guarantee you, he's a lot stronger now than he was when he got into the league. Obviously, but like I said, I don't. How much muscle do you want him to gain?
I'm not saying I'm not.
And also you have to also remember you wanted to put on muscle frame on a frame that one he's already been in the league for like what 12, 13 years. He's already dealt with major injuries. Like just because you add muscle doesn't mean that you're impervious to injuries. In fact, muscles, especially if it's muscle that your body can't deal with when it comes to physical activity, he could get hurt even more. He
Well,
could he
I'm
could
not
suffer
an
more
expert.
injuries.
I'm not an expert when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, if you know that for a fact that you could get hurt because you have more muscle, then fine.
Yeah, if your frame is not used to all that muscle and you're doing like strenuous activities and stuff like that, you can get hurt even more. To me, here's my synopsis on the series. To me, it's about playing. You're gonna play at home, right? Everything that you dealt, everything, and mind you, I'm still on Brooklyn. Hey, don't lose, don't lose. Like I said, you got all this, and we didn't even mention the whole Ben Simmons thing, but we're gonna mention it. We're gonna mention it soon.
Hmm.
You have all that talent on the team. You bought Kyrie and Kevin Durant to Brooklyn for these type of moments, right? It's time. It's time. Like to me, they're good enough to beat Boston twice at home. We'll see though. We'll see. And then now Brooklyn's in desperation mode. Now Ben Simmons is probably gonna come back for Game 4, and like I said, I think it's a mistake, but whatever it is, what it is, what it is. So they're going to bring him back for Game 4.
You
Pretty
sure?
much. Yeah, that's what I heard. That's the reports. The reports are out there. I'll look for it and I'll show you.
Wow.
But
If I don't think so. But if that is the case, if he actually comes back, they the organization was playing around this whole entire time.
yeah, let
To
me
me,
see.
the if he comes back
There you
in
go.
Game 4, the organization is a joke.
They've been a joke. That organization been a joke, and I'm gonna tell you when I pretty much decided what this organization is a joke. When they went back on their word on with Kyrie, they said that we're gonna have full time players, not part time players, and then due to desperation, they decided what you'll come back part time. This organization is a joke, and you're gonna bring this guy. Pretty much, he's gonna be on a minutes restriction, but he's coming back, and to me, this is desperation. This is full fledged desperation on their part
Hmm.
to bring him back, and I mean, it is out. It is what it is. But this is what organizations are. This is what this organization is. They're a joke. And like I said, they're gonna bring him back. Might as well. I mean, shoot. Like I wonder what's gonna happen in Game 3. I wonder what's gonna happen in Game 3. Did you see the article?
No.
Oh my bad. Let me show the article.
Let me see. Um,
Let me let
it's
me
kind
let
of
me.
hard to see. Yeah, you can read it because it's kind of hard to.
I mean, like look at the title. It's from ESPN.
Game 4 realistic target for Ben Simmons to make debut for the Brooklyn Nets. But I want to see. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, this is what I wanted to see. Go down.
No, can you hear this?
No.
All right, let me hold on a second. I'll just play it from Woj himself. Let me change the share settings.
Yeah, I'm really while you're doing that, I'm rewatching the game. Like Minnesota was doing their thing in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Wow.
All right, I'm about to play it right now.
All right.
Joining us with breaking news.
Can
So
you hear
after
it?
missing the first
Yeah.
two games,
Okay.
what's the very latest on Luka Doncic entering tonight's matchup?
Oh wait a minute, what?
Kevin, Luka Doncic is out tonight for game 3, I'm told. That
Yeah, we knew that.
left
Wait,
calf
hold on,
injury
hold on.
continues to need rehabilitation. And Dallas's view of this throughout has been they're going to let Luka Doncic return
Okay,
when
they're
he's
not
100%.
they're not talking about Ben Simmons here. All right.
Oh,
Even though obviously the article there,
yeah.
pretty much
That because it says yeah. So the process of Brooklyn Nets star in practices this week, and the anticipation that he will further accelerate in the incoming days has turned Game 4 on Monday into a realistic target. Blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, so he hasn't. Okay, see now this is also I think is important. Okay, so Ben Simmons hasn't ruled out for Game 3 either. So there's a chance that he's going to be in Game 3.
oh, okay, but
Yeah,
yeah, it could be.
that's why I wanted to tweet it because I had no idea about any of this.
Yeah, but yeah, but that's what they're planning on doing. Like they plan on bringing him back, and I mean, I think it's a mistake, but
Why do you think it's a mistake?
because he hasn't played in over a year. He hasn't played in a year, and he's going to a brand new team. Like
Do you really think he's hurt?
I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know if he's hurt or not. Like I think I know he's had back issues in the past. I know he's had I know he's had back issues in the past, but regardless of whether he's really hurt or not, he hasn't played in a year. Why would you bring him back for that? He hasn't played in a full year. Like but that's what the organization is. They're just an organization that just goes off on a whim. Just governs pretty much out of the seat of their pants. They have no conviction, and frankly, I hope they lose. Whether it's the first round, second round, when they get eliminated, I'll be happy.
Yeah, if they bring him now, that tells me that they could have brought him a lot sooner. And I think this whole organization is a disgrace for them to actually do that. They should have brought that dude back in the moment he was traded. And this is why I said that I knew that this was an awful trade. I know you're still going to go against me on that, but see, this was an awful trade.
For
They
who?
tra- they traded
For who?
James they traded James Harden, right? They
Hmm.
got Ben Simmons, and look where that got them. Nowhere.
I mean, the whole thing was about Philadelphia. It wasn't about Brooklyn. Now,
Well,
because I said that Philadelphia won that trade. I said
or you
Philadelphia
know
won
what?
that
I
trade.
think you did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think you did say that. That yeah,
So
that they won that trade. But yeah, that organization is a disgrace, man. I cannot believe out of all this time you decide to put him in now because you in a desperate situation, like
that's the
you in
only
a,
that's the only reason why he's coming back. Like at least as far as I'm concerned, that's the only reason why he's coming back. You
he
know what I
should have
mean?
been back. He should have been back. And I also want to say this. I really do hope that Adam Silver actually does something about this from now on because I'm really getting sick and tired of these players always want to control the narrative and want to not play. Oh, I have this. I want to rest. Oh, back to backs. Stop the complaining. And I remember I forgot who mentioned this, but you see, this person basically said we weren't dealing with issues like this in back in the '90s, back in the '80s, old school basketball where people were actually playing all games. Where people were actually playing even if they had like a little dealing with pain or discomfort, they were still playing. You're not getting that anymore. all you constantly getting is
I
guys
mean,
sitting out,
you're the same guy who's
getting guys
upset.
sitting out all the time, and you also see the difference between what happening now and what happening back then. Like we weren't dealing with all this stuff, all
And
this nonsense
Steve,
back then.
Steve, I get it, but what you're seeing as a byproduct of guys playing all the time is what you're seeing now when it comes to Phoenix. Do you think it's a coincidence? Look, let's go back a couple years, right?
Hmm.
After the Lakers won the championship, right? They had a quick turnaround with after the bubble and all the other stuff, right? Is it really a coincidence that all four semifinals teams that were there in the semifinals, like three of them got eliminated in the first round, and Denver did not even win a game in the second round? You think that's a coincidence?
Denver didn't win a second game in the second round.
Yeah, they got to the second round, but they didn't win a game after that.
Hmm.
And everyone else there, got eliminated in the first round. And then look at this year. Look at the two key injuries that we were talking about. Chris Middleton and Devin Booker,
Hmm.
right? Both players on championship on teams that went to the championship last year.
Yeah.
Like the game is played at a faster, more strenuous rate than it was back in the day. And even back in the day, guys dealt with a whole bunch of injuries. Back then, the thing is that guys got like rest was something that wasn't a thing back then. But if there was a thing, maybe we would have gotten a longer career for Anthony Hardaway, Grant Hill, and Grant Hill was more of a surgery botch. But even still, like we probably would have had more guys who had the pressure of playing all those games maybe would have been able to save their bodies and save their careers if they didn't have to go through the stress of playing 82 games, traveling this, that, and everything with the traveling schedule.
Well, you can't blame traveling at all.
No, yeah,
You can't. You
you
can't. You,
absolutely can.
no, you can't because how
Can.
how are you going to play road games with no travel?
I mean, you obviously gonna have to travel. That's not what I'm saying. My thing is that the injury, like all this stuff, everything that goes along with it, is all of it's connected. All of it's connected. You know what I mean? Look, I understand that you want guys to play. You want guys to play more. I get it. Like, cause it's a better league. Like when guys play more often
Absolutely.
than not, and I agree with you there. But at the same time, if a guy is hurt, I don't blame a team. If a guy, like, let's say if he has a let's say he has a like a hamstring, whatever, right? He say he can play on it, but he feels it's kind of weird. I don't blame a organization for holding him out for a couple weeks. I don't blame him for that because you don't want that thing getting torn. You don't want nothing happening to where he'll be out for a prolonged period of time. And also, like, these teams are more invested in these players now more than ever. And in a sport where one player can make a huge difference, like, I don't blame them for that. I don't blame them for that. That's why my solution is get rid of the back to backs, and also, and this is probably more of an issue. Don't have these guys playing 4 games in 5 nights. Like that's a stupid schedule to have. Having them play 4 games in 5 nights. That's dumb.
Well, here's two things. I want to address two things. The one when you mentioned about the bubble, situation and how everybody got eliminated, in the first round.
Hmm.
I don't. You honestly think that was because I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe didn't they start early?
Yeah, they did.
I I think that was the cause, not necessarily because they went to the finals or they were late
Well,
in the
yeah, but,
playoffs.
but is
Because
it is it is it is it is it a coincidence that the 4 teams that played the most games in the bubble, were in a league that had to start earlier, all of a sudden they weren't as good?
well, that's where I blame the league. I don't blame them per se. I blame the league because they shouldn't have never, started early. But I think you were the one that told me that they didn't have a choice because of the
Money,
because of
money.
money
Yeah,
and
they chose money
TV.
over. Yeah, they chose money. So yeah, So I mean, yeah, we can play semantics. We can talk about the semantics of it, but I mean, that's what happened.
Well, it's all nuance. Look at the situation. The other look at the other situation that you mentioned. You mentioned the what did you mention? I think you said back to backs.
Hmm.
You said what was the other thing you said? Do you
Four
remember
games
what
in
else?
5 nights.
Yeah, 4 games in 5 nights. Um, the 4 games in 5 nights, I could agree with you there, but you do know that if they get rid of back to backs and not have 4 games in 5 nights, we are going to have a really long season.
I mean, they could shorten the games. They could shorten the regular season, but they're not going to do that.
Then the best option is to have just a longer season instead of finishing in June, finish in July.
I mean, I guess if they want to stretch out the schedule, I don't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. But to me, I think the season should be cut short. Not to like it don't have to be like super drastic, but 82 games instead of doing 82 games, I would do like what 70, 76, 74.
I don't think 5 games is going to do anything.
I mean, it could help. Like I said, I don't have all the answers, but like these injuries happen. Like these guys are going to get hurt. They're bigger, stronger, faster. They're bigger, stronger, and faster. And when you're bigger, stronger, faster, you're going to get your like injuries are going to happen.
Well, I think my solution is if you want to get rid of back to backs and 4 games in 5 nights and things like that, just stretch the season out more, finish in July, and have another I guess have another like how well what like they have a week off like during the All-Star season. If you truly care,
Do they?
like
I mean,
before the
I think they start the all like they do get a break after, but like pretty much the last game's on Thursday, and then they go immediately to All Star Weekend on Friday, and I think that's dumb.
yeah they go, but remember though, not everybody in the league is partaking in the
That's true.
All-Star weekend.
That's true. But the stars are.
The stars are.
Those are the ones those are the ones that we want to see the most.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's still other All Stars that that didn't partake in
Yeah.
things of that
No,
nature.
I get that. I get that.
So, would you be okay with having another week off? Have instead of 1 week off, have 2 weeks off?
No, 2 week, no, not 2 weeks, but I would say
No, no,
have.
I don't mean back to back.
Hmm.
But go ahead. What you was gonna say?
You mean like have a week off before an All Star break and then have a week off after?
No, like have a week off. Like let's say for example, have a week off in somewhere in January, and then have another week
Oh
off
no
in
no
like
no no no
in
no no
March.
no, I wouldn't do that. Like to me, like the best option to me would probably be shorten the regular season. But if you want to lengthen it so that you don't do any back to backs, I don't mind that either. But a week off, I think that's a bit much. That's a bit much.
So having another week off is too much.
Yeah, I think having a week off is too much. To me, I think basketball players should have a game once every if they're playing at home once every 2 days. If they're going to be traveling on the road or whatever, once every 3 days.
Yeah, but when you have a road trip, I think that'll be very difficult when you start traveling everywhere. I think that'll be very difficult.
No, it won't. 'Cause like I said, these guys, like I said, the accommodations for these flights are a lot better now than they've ever been. So they can get to a place lickety split. The problem is that when you have to do back to back when you're traveling, you have a game, you go on a plane, and then you fly, you land, and then you go to sleep, and you have to play another game like that. Like to me, that seems, dude. I'm tired just doing that, just saying that. I'm tired. I'm tired just saying that. Imagine having to actually do that, and then you have to deal with like nicks and that knick-knack pains and stuff like that. Like to me, that's tough, man. That's tough. And if you want these guys to play, if you want the start to play, like you have to make it like easier on them. You have to make it easy on them because, like I said, these guys are gonna get hurt. Like they are. They're
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah. But I think that's probably the best solution. Just stretch it out and just finish in July. I mean, what's another month? Just
yeah,
finish in July. I mean, you're not going to start again until what?
October.
October.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just finish in July. And if you say having 2 weeks is too much, if you're saying having 2 weeks is too
No,
much, like,
I'll just say like just having like just a random week off. Like I don't think that's good for them either.
oh, okay,
This I just think that overstressing the body, I don't think is a good thing, and I don't think
yeah,
that's good for these guys' bodies. But anyways, I mean that's pretty much it, man.
yeah,
Like I said, this was fun. You know, what I mean, I'm gonna get my ass to sleep now. So
yeah. This was very good. So obviously, we're going to do this again on Monday.
yeah.
And we're also going to bring all the other gaming topics along as well with that.
Hmm.
And before I go, was there any lagging whatsoever?
No, no, we're really good. This has been the best run podcast we've had in the last couple of days, last
Okay.
couple of weeks. So we're if we could keep that streak, we'll be straight.
All right, awesome. So, all right, so yeah, it's getting late. I have to, wake up and do another double tomorrow.
Oh man.
But this was definitely well, worth it because we obviously had to talk about this before we decided to do this,
Hmm.
and I think this was absolutely a very good idea on on our part because I thought it would be very strange that we that we only talk about it like once a week.
Yeah.
I thought it was just very weird if we did it that way. But yeah, let a couple of games go by and then we talk about it instead of doing it back to back days. But this was good. I had fun. We had our disagreements, we had our agreements, and I'm looking forward for Monday's podcast. So with all that being said, this is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
Yeah. Movie 186. I'm out. Peace.